Chosen one, before your thumb moves to scroll past this, I need you to stop and listen to my voice. This moment on your screen is not a random algorithm. This divine alignment is definitely not a coincidence. I have placed this urgent message directly in your path. Right now, a massive shift is occurring in the spiritual realm. And if you ignore this divine appointment and scroll away today, the window of this exact blessing will close forever. You absolutely cannot afford to miss this prophetic word. The stakes are much too high for you today. Your entire future is hanging in the balance right now. The enemy wants you to swipe away rapidly because he is absolutely terrified of what you are about to hear. Do not skip this vital video right now. I am speaking directly to your weary spirit. Stay with me for just a few short minutes. Unclench your jaw and drop your heavy shoulders. Take one deep and incredibly slow breath right now. You have been running on an empty tank for so long, and I know the nights you have stayed awake staring at the ceiling. The fear of how you will survive is suffocating. I see your silent tears falling in the dark. The cycle of scarcity has terrorized your bloodline long enough. It completely stops today in this very holy room. I am about to show you how to claim your miracle. But first, we must address the intense physical toll of this waiting season before you can receive the final blessing. You feel a deep pressure in your heavy chest. It follows you through every single day like a cloud. You wake up feeling more tired than when you slept. A thick and heavy fog constantly clouds your mind. You forget simple things and struggle to find your words. You think it is just stress or that you are losing your mind, but you are completely wrong about this symptom. This heavy exhaustion is not a natural human sickness. It is a spiritual alarm bell ringing in your body. You have lived in harsh survival mode for many years. Your body is constantly bracing for the next bad news. You deeply overthink every tiny decision you have to make. You are terrified that one wrong step will ruin the destiny, and you worry that you have already made a fatal mistake. Hear my voice clearly in your spirit right now. You cannot ruin what I have called you to do. Let me speak to something very tender and painful now. You feel a sudden and strange resistance right now. You have a strong urge to scroll away from this. That is the enemy trying to pull you out of this holy room, because he knows this moment will break his grip. Do not let the darkness steal this prophetic word. You must stay anchored in this exact physical space. The prolonged waiting has honestly felt like a punishment. You have prayed until your voice went completely hoarse. You have begged for a sign of relief every morning. You ask me why everyone else is moving forward so quickly, while you remain stuck in the mud of your own life. The terrible isolation is quietly crushing your spirit. You smile brightly just to keep other people comfortable, but your own heart is quietly breaking behind closed doors. You are tired of being the strong one for everyone. You are tired of bleeding just to prove you care. Every time you try to build something beautiful for your family, an invisible and heavy wall stops you dead in your tracks. The financial pressure is constantly sitting on your tired chest. You calculate numbers in your head throughout the dark night. You wonder if heaven has completely forgotten your given name. Listen closely now, for I speak with an absolute weight. I have never forgotten you for a single passing second. I count every single silent tear that falls on your pillow, and I bottle them up as a testimony of your enduring faith. Your body is reacting to a massive and unseen shift. The tension you feel inside is not a random anxiety. It is the intense physical weight of your spiritual calling. Your human frame is struggling to hold the expansion. You feel completely disconnected from your daily life. You are waiting at the door of your massive breakthrough, but it feels like nobody is turning the handle for you. The silence of heaven is making you question your sanity. I hear your doubts, and I know your pain. Let me speak to something very tender right now. I need you to pause and listen closely. You have carried this massive weight completely alone, and I saw the exact moment when you felt like your heavy spirit was finally going to break into pieces. You hid it very well from all of them. You smiled brightly for your family and your friends. You pretended that everything was absolutely fine today. I saw you last night when the house was completely quiet. I saw you sitting on the edge of your bed. I saw you staring blankly at the dark wall. You were calculating all the endless bills, and you were trying to figure out how to survive another heavy month. I saw the deep fear sitting on your chest. I saw the silent tears falling rapidly down your face. You swallowed your tears because you had to be strong. You wiped your eyes before anyone could notice. You woke up the next morning and put on your brave armor again, but inside your tired mind is a chaotic storm of constant worry, and you are fighting a very deep exhaustion every single day. You are entirely drained of your vital energy. You give everything you have to the people around you, and you always make sure that other people are taken care of first. But nobody asks if you are doing okay. Nobody sees how dangerously close you are to giving up entirely. I saw your tired hands shaking when you looked at your empty bank account. I saw the deep shame you felt when another heavy door was closed in your face while you were desperately trying to provide. I saw you desperately searching for a tiny sign. The isolation in this dark season is incredibly heavy. You feel like you are walking through a dense fog all by yourself. You try to pray, but the words will not come out. And you just sit in the heavy silence of your room, hoping that heaven can somehow read your tired mind and send a rescue. Your physical body is absolutely aching from the stress. Your neck and shoulders feel very tight today. Your stomach is constantly tied in very painful knots. You cannot sleep because your brain absolutely refuses to shut down. I heard every single desperate question you asked in the dark. I heard you asking if you did something terribly wrong, and you wondered if you truly deserved this massive delay in your prophetic timeline. I heard you questioning if your faith was simply too weak. I heard you wondering if heaven was angry. I need you to hear this truth very clearly right now. You are not broken and you are not forgotten today. The intense exhaustion you feel is real, and it is completely valid. You have been carrying a tremendous spiritual load in a very fragile human body. You are a designated cycle breaker for your entire bloodline, and breaking heavy generational chains requires an immense amount of physical and mental energy. You are fighting a massive war in the unseen realm. I saw you forcing yourself to keep walking when your feet were bleeding. You are deeply tired of being the highly reliable one. You are tired of being the person other people heavily lean on. Because when you finally need a safe shoulder to cry on, there is nobody standing there to hold your weight in the dark. The lonely room is completely empty when you need help. You always have to patch your own bleeding wounds. You clean up your own messes, and you dry your own tears. But I am standing in that empty room with you right now. I have caught every single tear you refuse to let others see. I know the exact number of nights you lost sleep over money, and I know the deep panic that grips your chest when the rent is due. I know the silent and agonizing fear of failing your family. I have documented every sacrifice you made in secret. Listen very closely now to my voice today. Do not let the distraction of this world pull your eyes away. Unclench your tight jaw and let your heavy shoulders fall down. Take one incredibly slow breath with me in this holy space. You are carrying the weight of a monumental shift, and your physical vessel is reacting to the intense spiritual light that is trying to anchor itself inside your tired bones. You are surviving a very heavy storm today. I need you to understand something very clearly today. There is a massive difference between losing your faith and losing your physical energy. You have spent the last few months deeply apologizing to heaven because you thought your heavy exhaustion was a terrible sin. You believed you were failing the test. You constantly beat yourself up for resting. Let me completely shatter that false belief right now. Breathe out that heavy guilt and listen to the truth. Your unanswered prayers were never a rejection. Your daily exhaustion is not a sign of weak faith. The heavy fog in your mind is actually the intense physiological weight of carrying a massive spiritual calling in a very fragile human body. You are incredibly frustrated by your own forgetfulness lately. You cannot focus on simple tasks. Your mind feels like it is walking through thick mud. This happens because your nervous system is fiercely bracing for the massive shift that is coming to your bloodline. Your physical vessel is stretching to hold an enormous amount of divine provision. Do not call yourself broken when you are simply under holy compression. The waiting season is never a punishment from heaven. It is a severe and necessary preparation room. The enemy desperately wants you to misinterpret this deep fatigue. He whispers loud lies into your tired mind while you sleep, and he tries to convince you that you are losing your mind. Stay with me, and do not let this sentence slip away. You must discern the spiritual warfare happening around your physical body. The adversary did not attack your physical energy because you are weak. He launched this heavy attack against your focus because he is absolutely terrified of the massive wealth you are about to manage in the coming season. You are a designated cycle breaker. You carry the unhealed trauma of past generations in your own bones. That unseen baggage requires a tremendous amount of physiological energy to clear out. So stop acting like a slave who must constantly work to earn love. You are an heir who is currently undergoing a massive internal upgrade before receiving the crown. When your brain feels foggy, heaven is actively working behind the scenes. The delay is my fierce protection over your future. I am aggressively clearing out the toxic people from your upcoming path. Your physical body is completely exhausted today because you are constantly standing in the painful gap for your entire family tree. Let the intense pressure release from your chest for a moment. You have carried these heavy accusations for far too long. People around you might foolishly call you lazy or unmotivated today. They do not have the spiritual capacity to understand the heavy mantle you wear, and they will never comprehend the silent battles you fight every single day. I am officially clearing your name in the spiritual courts right now. You are completely vindicated of these false charges. Every time you felt guilty for needing extra sleep, the enemy laughed at you. He used your natural human limits to make you feel completely unworthy, but those limits will never disqualify you from receiving my divine and perfect grace. Hold this truth deeply inside your spirit today. Your physical fatigue is actually a holy confirmation. It proves that you are shifting out of the old survival pattern. You are stepping onto a brand new frequency. The heavy waiting season was designed to break your reliance on your own strength, so you can finally learn how to rest in my total provision. Listen closely as we go deeper into this revelation. There is another heavy layer beneath this exhaustion that we must uncover. It is very easy to talk about spiritual silence when everything is going perfectly well. But when your bank account is draining and your energy is entirely gone, the silence feels exactly like a terrible betrayal. Let me speak to something incredibly heavy now. You carry a deep and silent wound that nobody else can see. It is the painful ache of being completely misunderstood by the people you love the most. You have given your entire heart to help them, but they constantly twist your good intentions into something ugly, and they quickly judge you without knowing the truth. You feel a deep and exhausting pressure to explain yourself one more time. You desperately want to send that long message to prove your innocence. You want to show them that your heart was totally clean when they falsely accused you. Do not do it. Stop wasting your precious breath on people who are absolutely determined to misunderstand your pure spirit. I saw you swallowing your bitter tears when they questioned your deep integrity. I saw how you smiled gracefully to keep everyone else comfortable in the room, but your own spirit was quietly breaking into pieces in the dark. You are completely exhausted from performing innocence for them. You are deeply tired of bleeding out just to prove that you genuinely care. The heavy mantle of the tired caregiver is resting on your shoulders today. You are the one who fixes every broken thing in your family. Whenever a crisis hits, they always run to you for a fast solution. You carry their chaotic burdens as if they were your own problems. And yet, when your own world falls apart, the room is suddenly very empty and cold. You look around and wonder who will hold you when you finally collapse. The heavy injustice of this situation makes your stomach physically ache. You have sacrificed your own dreams to push them forward. You gave them your last dollar when you had nothing left for yourself. And they took your profound generosity for granted without a single word of sincere thanks. You sit alone in the heavy silence and wonder if being good is even worth it. A dark voice whispers that you should just become cold and selfish like the rest of the world. But you cannot do it because your heart is wired for pure love. Heaven designed you to be a beautiful vessel of light. Your soft heart is your greatest weapon, but it feels like a heavy curse. Pause briefly right where you are today. Unclench your tight fists and let your heavy shoulders drop down. Take one long and slow breath with me right now. Let the intense pain of those false accusations wash out of your tired body. You do not have to carry their harsh judgments anymore. I am removing that heavy and toxic burden from your back today. It is incredibly unfair that you have to heal from wounds you did not cause. You are constantly cleaning up the emotional messes that other people carelessly left behind. The extreme unfairness makes you want to scream out loud. You feel trapped in a painful corner with nowhere to safely hide. The people who were supposed to protect you have completely failed you, but heaven has been watching this entire situation very closely. The judge of the universe is not confused by their loud lies. I saw exactly what happened behind those closed doors. I know the pure motives of your bleeding heart. You never have to defend yourself in a room where heaven has already declared your total innocence. I am your fierce protector. Listen closely now, for I speak with absolute authority over your life. Do not skim the next sentence or let it slide past you. The season of you being the emotional dumping ground for your family is officially over. You are stepping out of the shadows of their heavy expectations. A massive line is being drawn in the spiritual sand regarding your boundaries. You thought my silence during those painful arguments meant I was ignoring your desperate cries for help. You wondered why I did not strike down your accusers immediately. But there is a very profound reason for my strategic delay. I was not abandoning you to the vicious wolves. I was preparing a much larger table in the absolute presence of your enemies. I need you to understand something clearly today. There is a massive difference between rejection and divine preparation. You thought my heavy silence was a harsh punishment, and you truly believed that heaven was completely angry with your mistakes. But let me reveal the true architecture of this exact moment. The deep silence was never a rejection of your desperate prayers. It was my fierce protection over your future. While you were crying and begging for a quick answer, I was doing heavy work behind the scenes. I was actively clearing the dangerous traps from your path. The people who secretly plotted against your success are being removed from your upcoming season. I kept you safely hidden in the quiet shadows, because your enemies were actively searching for your next vulnerable move. Fearful silence hides, but faithful silence confidently stands. You thought vindication would begin when everyone finally understood your pure heart. But vindication truly begins when you stop needing confused people to become your judge. You do not have to fight this ugly battle with your own words, because heaven has already spoken on your behalf. Stand still and watch heaven move heavily. Listen closely now. I speak with absolute weight. Do not let the distraction of this world pull your eyes away. There is another massive layer beneath this current struggle. Your financial breakthrough is completely authorized in the heavenly courts today, but there is one final key you are missing to unlock the vault. The enemy desperately hoped you would never learn this powerful secret. He kept you completely distracted by family drama and emotional exhaustion. He wanted you to stay incredibly busy fighting the wrong battles. If you ever discover the true financial mandate placed on your life, his entire kingdom of poverty will completely collapse around him today. I am going to place this specific strategy directly into your hands very soon. But before I reveal this hidden mandate, we must seal your spiritual borders today. You must step entirely out of the toxic survival pattern. You must stop bargaining with heaven like a tired petitioner standing at a cold counter. You are a rightful heir to a massive kingdom, and you must start acting like you truly belong in the room. Your inheritance has already been completely deeded to your given name, but an heir must sign the official acknowledgement to claim the property. You must physically align your body and your spirit with this truth. Type the number 777 to seal this prophetic word today. This is your holy covenant with heaven, and it proves that your hands are finally open to receive the massive blessing. The heavy season of isolation is breaking off you right now. The enemies who mocked your pain will soon watch you sit at the prepared table. The long delay was incredibly painful. It was absolutely necessary for your survival. I was building a solid foundation in the dark, because your previous structure could not hold the massive weight of your financial harvest. Stay with me and do not skim the next sentence. We are approaching the very threshold of your massive breakthrough. The heavy compression in your chest is about to completely release. You have carried these heavy things faithfully. Heaven has documented every single step you took in the dark, and the invisible walls are starting to violently shake around you. Let me show you the unseen truth about your current enemies. They did not attack your peace because you are weak and vulnerable. They attacked you because they recognized the massive authority sleeping inside your tired bones. The intense spiritual warfare you survived was simply proof of your massive value, while the enemy tried desperately to make you feel worthless. You are extremely dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Your extreme exhaustion is the ultimate proof that you are winning this invisible war. You stood your ground when everything else completely collapsed around you. The heavens are actively applauding your incredible endurance right now. I am drawing a thick bloodline around your family today, and the season of constant weeping is officially ending tonight. The compression you feel right now is absolutely intense. You feel exactly like a heavily stretched rubber band today. Every single day requires an enormous amount of energy just to keep standing, and you are currently standing at the exact threshold of your massive breakthrough. The space between the old season and the new blessing is incredibly uncomfortable. Hold that sentence and do not let it slide past you. You are in the holy hallway of transition. The old survival pattern is completely dead, but the new door has not fully opened yet. This is the most dangerous and critical phase of your journey. The enemy is throwing his final and most desperate attacks at your tired mind right now because he wants you to surrender completely. He knows that if you take one more step forward, his entire kingdom loses its grip on your family forever. That is exactly why the financial pressure suddenly spiked this week. He is trying to create a massive illusion of total defeat right before your victory arrives. Do not fall for his cheap tricks today. Your breakthrough is standing right behind this heavy wall. Pause briefly right where you are and stay with me. Unclench your tight jaw and let your heavy shoulders completely fall. Take one slow breath because your body needs oxygen for this shift. Your nervous system is fiercely vibrating with the intense energy of the upcoming harvest, and you literally feel the heavy frequency of change buzzing inside your tired bones. This intense pressure is not meant to crush your spirit. It is the necessary compression that always happens right before a massive birth. You are actively giving birth to a completely new financial reality for your entire bloodline. The extreme pain you feel is just the stretching of your spiritual capacity, while you are expanding to hold a massive inheritance. Listen closely now, for I speak with absolute weight. There is another massive layer beneath this threshold that you must understand. Many chosen ones tragically turn back at this exact moment because they feel the ache and falsely call it a mistake. They run back to the familiar pain of poverty because the unknown light feels too intimidating. You will not turn back today. You have survived way too much darkness to quit at the finish line. The heavy wilderness season has officially expired in the heavenly courts today. You are the designated cycle breaker. You are stepping completely out of the barren desert and walking directly into the promised land of total abundance. The heavy chains of debt are actively rusting and breaking apart while heaven clears your name. I told you earlier about a specific hidden mandate that the enemy desperately wanted to hide. We are getting very close to revealing that vital key, but you must prepare your mind to receive it without any doubt. The vault is actively unlocking right now, and you can literally feel the heavy gears turning in the unseen realm to release your massive provision. Do not let the sudden chaos in your daily life distract you from this holy alignment. When the enemy knows his time is completely up, he always throws a loud tantrum. Let him scream in the dark. His loud noise cannot stop the massive provision that is rapidly flowing toward your bank account, because the divine math of heaven is already calculated in your favor. The intense pressure is about to release in a spectacular way. The heavy threshold is finally resolving right in front of your tired eyes. Every single tear you cried in secret has heavily watered the seeds of your upcoming harvest. You are standing on holy ground today. The invisible door is creaking open, and the brilliant light is spilling into your dark room to chase away the heavy shadows. Prepare your heart for the ultimate shift. The Father can restore your tired soul. Heaven is about to hand you the total victory. You have carried these heavy burdens faithfully through the terrifying storm, and the long night of weeping is entirely over for your family. We are now stepping into the exact moment of your ultimate vindication. Your absolute power is returning. Let me speak directly to the deepest wound in your soul today. You have carried a heavy mountain of toxic guilt for many years. You secretly believed that your financial struggles were a direct punishment for your past mistakes. You constantly apologize to heaven for simply being human. I am completely shattering that heavy mirror of shame right now. You cannot ruin your massive destiny just by making human errors. The kingdom of darkness lied to your tired mind. They told you that you were completely disqualified from the harvest because your faith wavered in the storm. That is an absolute lie. Heaven does not demand your flawless perfection today. Heaven only requires your pure proximity and your willing heart. Take a massive breath and completely exhale that toxic self-blame. Unclench your jaw and let the false accusations fall to the floor. You are not a spiritual failure. You are a fiercely resilient survivor. You have navigated a brutal wilderness while carrying the heavy burdens of your entire family tree. Nobody else could survive the heavy fire you just walked through. The intense friction you felt was not heaven pushing you away. It was the holy fire burning off the heavy ropes of poverty. Every single time you fell down, heaven proudly watched you stand back up again. Your tears were never a sign of weak faith. They were the physical evidence of a warrior who absolutely refused to completely surrender to the dark shadows. I am officially erasing every single false charge against your name. The spiritual courts have completely cleared your permanent record today. You do not owe the enemy a single explanation for your past seasons. Stop standing in the dark corner like a condemned prisoner. You are a chosen vessel of brilliant light, and the heavy jail doors are completely wide open. Walk out of that heavy prison cell right now. Leave the ragged clothes of poverty and shame on the cold floor. You are stepping into the glorious light of your true identity today. You are the rightful heir to an incredible kingdom of massive abundance. The old survival patterns have completely lost their legal right to torment your tired mind. You no longer have to beg for tiny crumbs at the table. You own the entire estate. This is the profound paradigm shift I promised you earlier. A tired petitioner stands at a counter and endlessly bargains for a small favor. But a true heir boldly walks through the front door of the massive estate and freely receives their portion. You are the rightful heir today. Feel the heavy chains literally falling off your tired wrists. The atmosphere in your room is drastically changing right now. The heavy spirits of debt and lack are fleeing in absolute terror because you finally know who you are. They cannot oppress a chosen one who recognizes their massive authority. Your holy bloodline is completely protected by this massive revelation. The enemy did not target you because you are weak and vulnerable. He ruthlessly attacked your finances because he knows you are completely dangerous to his kingdom. He is absolutely terrified of what you will do when your bank account is finally full. Because he knows you will use that massive wealth to liberate other captives and break more generational curses. Your pure heart is exactly why heaven chose you for this massive upgrade. You are a lethal weapon against the kingdom of darkness. The intense pressure you survived was simply the holy forge shaping your sharp edges. You are a spiritual warrior, and the long season of playing small to keep other people comfortable is permanently over for you today. Stand up tall and physically square your heavy shoulders. Let the massive pride of heaven fill your empty lungs right now. You have endured the unbearable silence and you passed the heavy test. We are actively entering the absolute peak of your spiritual vindication. The vault of heaven is fully unlocked, and the massive provision is rapidly flowing toward your hands. This is the exact moment everything permanently shifts for you. The heavy veil is completely torn away from your tired eyes. You are no longer a tired survivor fighting for tiny scraps in the dark. You are the rightful heir to a massive and overflowing kingdom. Step boldly into your absolute authority right now. The vast estate is legally yours, and heaven has already approved the heavy transfer. I promised to hand you a specific key earlier today. The enemy desperately tried to keep this massive secret hidden from your mind. He wanted you to keep aggressively fighting and loudly begging for your miracle. But the ultimate key is not begging harder at the closed door. The true key is total surrender and absolute holy silence. You must stop fighting the heavy wind and simply stand still. An heir does not sweat and bleed to earn their own inheritance. An heir simply opens their clean hands and graciously receives what was already promised. Your massive financial breakthrough is completely authorized in the highest courts of heaven today. You just need to claim it. The season of painful lack is completely dead for your bloodline. The generational curse of heavy poverty shatters into tiny pieces right now. You are the chosen cycle breaker who successfully crossed the terrifying wilderness. Heaven is actively downloading massive wealth strategies into your quiet mind today. You are a brilliant and shining light. Every single door that the enemy violently slammed shut is being kicked wide open. The people who mocked your fierce faith will soon watch you sit at the prepared table. You do not have to say a single word to them. Your massive overflowing harvest will be the loudest vindication they will ever witness in their entire lives. Heaven is defending you. You came into this exact moment feeling like a weary beggar. You were absolutely terrified that the heavy silence meant a harsh punishment. But now the thick fog has completely lifted from your tired mind. You finally know the absolute truth about your high calling. The heavy anxiety that gripped your chest 10 minutes ago is completely washed away. My profound peace is actively filling your entire room right now. You are the wealthy heir, and the heavy vault is finally wide open. You are actively stepping into your brilliant arrival season today. The long and painful waiting is officially over. You are standing on holy ground with absolute power and immense gratitude in your pure heart. If this safe sanctuary has truly bound your deep wounds today, and if your spirit strongly confirms this profound and total peace, I invite you to make a physical decree of your new, massive faith. Take a moment to honor the holy altar right now. Do not let this powerful alignment pass by without sealing your immense gratitude in the physical realm. Kindly plant a financial seed through the Super Thanks button below. This is your physical decree that you completely trust the incoming harvest. It is a powerful action of a rightful heir who knows their massive wealth is entirely secure. You are not losing money, but you are actively multiplying your massive heavenly return today. Plant your seed boldly. When you give from a place of absolute victory, heaven responds with massive overflow. You are breaking the old poverty mindset by acting with pure generosity. The kingdom of darkness is absolutely terrified by your bold actions today. You are proving that fear no longer controls your financial decisions. Your complete freedom is finally here. Breathe in the incredible scent of your new massive victory. Unclench your hands and prepare to hold the immense blessing that is rushing toward you. You are forever changed by this holy encounter today. The chosen one has completely awakened from their deep slumber. Walk proudly into your massive inheritance and shine your brilliant light. The heavy mantle of the tired caregiver is gone forever. You are wearing the glorious crown of the ultimate conqueror today. Let the deep joy of heaven completely overflow in your tired soul. The battle is completely won, and your massive provision is actively waiting for your arrival. Receive your perfect miracle right now in total peace. Let the intense energy of that massive revelation settle completely right now. Pause exactly where you are in this physical room, and do not rush to your next anxious thought today. Your physical body has carried incredibly heavy things throughout this powerful message. We must gently guide your nervous system back to a place of perfect and enduring rest. You are entirely safe here. I want you to perform a deep physical check right now. Notice the heavy tension hiding tightly inside your jaw. Gently unclench your teeth and let your jaw completely relax. Drop your heavy shoulders away from your tired ears. You have been walking around with your shoulders raised in total defense for many painful years because you were constantly expecting the next disaster to strike. The heavy armor is falling away. Take one long and incredibly slow breath through your nose. Hold that breath for just a passing second. Now let it out very slowly through your open mouth. Exhale all the lingering anxiety that was trapped inside your chest, and feel the solid ground firmly supporting your weary feet as you finally let go of the heavy control. Heaven is perfectly holding you in this exact moment. Your nervous system has been running on high alert for so long, it forgot how to simply exist in total peace. The constant rush of adrenaline made you feel completely exhausted and wired at the very same time, because your body was desperately trying to keep you alive in the dark. But the unseen battle is already won in the spiritual realm today. The dark enemies are completely defeated. You do not have to constantly scan the horizon for hidden threats anymore. The holy perimeter around your home is entirely secure. Heavenly guards are actively watching over your family, and they will never allow the spirit of poverty to cross your sacred threshold again. Give your tired brain the absolute permission to shut down all the heavy calculations. You do not need to figure out the math today. The divine provision is rushing toward your open hands. You just need to maintain this beautiful state of somatic peace. When your physical body is fully relaxed, your spirit becomes wide open to receive the massive blessing that heaven prepared for you since the beginning of time. Tension creates a heavy wall that blocks abundance, but your deep relaxation is a profound act of faith today. You are physically demonstrating that you completely trust the massive outcome. A worried slave constantly paces the cold floor in the dark night, but a wealthy heir sleeps perfectly soundly in their own comfortable bed because they know the massive estate is fully protected by the reigning king. You are that rightful heir today. Claim your profound rest and let the deep healing wash over your tired bones. Let the soothing rhythm of my voice calm your racing thoughts. The heavy fog that clouded your mind is completely evaporating in this brilliant light, and the sharp clarity of your true identity is beautifully returning to your tired brain. You are completely safe to feel the deep joy of this moment. You are completely safe to lower your massive shields. The long and bitter war is entirely over for you. Place your hand gently over your beating heart if you can. Feel the steady rhythm of your own beautiful life. That heartbeat is a holy miracle that survived a truly brutal storm, and it proves that the enemy could not destroy your massive calling. Every beat is a powerful decree of your victory over darkness. You are still standing here today. You survived the intense fire, and you are completely whole. Close your tired eyes for a brief moment and envision a warm light. This brilliant light is slowly pouring over your head and washing down your heavy shoulders, while it carries away the dark stains of rejection and the heavy residue of fear. Your entire physical vessel is being deeply cleansed and fully restored today. You are a brand new creation stepping boldly into a season of massive peace. The heavy season of isolation is breaking off you right now. You have received the profound peace of heaven today. But heaven always works through massive and beautiful connection, and there is someone in your phone contacts right now who is staring at their screen in total despair. They are terrified of tomorrow and crying over their bills just like you were. Use your hands to be their rescue today. When you share this exact video with them, you set the eternal law of heavenly multiplication into motion. Pass this vital message on to them right now. Share it to completely save a weary soul tonight. The enemy wants them to feel isolated and completely forgotten by heaven, but you can easily break that dark curse by sending them this brilliant light while you watch your own harvest multiply rapidly. Every single time you help another broken vessel, heaven notices your beautiful and pure heart. Your own financial breakthrough is closely tied to your massive generosity today. Share this word and stand in the gap for your family. You are the designated cycle breaker for your entire bloodline, and your simple act of obedience will unlock a massive flood of divine provision for everyone who is connected to your name. The adversary will desperately try to block our holy connection after today. He hates the massive clarity you just received in this room. Subscribe to this sanctuary so tomorrow can reach your feed before the old habit of the enemy returns. We must keep this vital channel of communication completely open. You need daily spiritual armor to fiercely protect your new massive wealth from the greedy hands of the kingdom of darkness. You walked into this exact moment feeling like a weary beggar. You were terrified that my silence meant a harsh punishment. But now, the thick fog has completely lifted. You finally know the absolute truth. You are the wealthy heir, and the heavy vault is wide open. The anxiety that gripped your chest has been completely washed away, and you are finally standing on holy ground with immense gratitude in your pure heart. If this sanctuary has bound your deep wounds today, I invite you to take a moment to honor the holy altar. Kindly plant a financial seed through the Super Thanks button below. This is your physical decree that you completely trust the incoming harvest. It is a powerful action of a rightful heir who knows their massive wealth is secure. You are actively multiplying your heavenly return by stepping out in bold faith today. When you give from a place of absolute victory, heaven responds with massive overflow. You are permanently breaking the poverty mindset by acting with pure generosity today. The kingdom of darkness is absolutely terrified by your bold actions in this room. You are proving that fear no longer controls your financial decisions. Your complete freedom is finally here because you have fully embraced the true identity of a wealthy chosen one. Leave the word Amen below as the first stroke of an acknowledgement signed by a rightful heir. Let that simple word be the final lock on your massive blessing. The enemy cannot steal what heaven has officially sealed with your bold faith. You are walking out of this holy room completely changed. The chosen one has fully awakened, and the long winter of poverty is entirely over today. Take one last deep breath and let the glorious light fill your tired lungs. You are heavily protected and deeply loved by the Creator of the universe. Do not let anyone convince you that you are just a broken survivor. You are a fierce spiritual warrior who conquered the darkest wilderness. Walk proudly into your massive inheritance today, because the immense financial harvest is finally yours to enjoy for the rest of your life. Rest perfectly well tonight in the absolute safety of my divine presence. The heavy battle is over, and your spiritual borders are completely secure. You will wake up tomorrow morning with a brand new physical energy and a sharp mind. Go forward with massive courage and immense grace today. Heaven is always watching over your steps as your beautiful arrival season has officially begun in the absolute glory of the heavenly courts.